What's up, world? All right, it's 8:40, 6:40. Sorry. Let's see. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh my God, sweaty. Oh, of course. Co-host is always first to arrive. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for being the first one to arrive. I think it's because I started a little late. Aubrey's cooking. Hey, all right. What's she cooking? Spaghetti. Mm. What kind of noodles though? What kind of noodles? I'm just saying. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Only got five people in here. Oh, hey, what up? All right, I'm gonna give it a second. Let some people slide in, see what's going on. I had a bunch of people reach out to me, asking me about the course and asking me, for help and stuff like that. So, hey, I do these lives 2 to 3 times a week, mostly 3 times. I think this is my third week being consecutive being on here. So, anybody have any questions about anything? Hey, in regards to nursing, NCLEX, or whatever, I'm your guy. I mean, there's a lot of other people that are out there, but I'm that dude. Me. So, I think we'll give it a little bit. We got a good amount of people up in here. So thanks everybody for showing up. Today is Monday, the 31st of July. So we're talking NCLEX, we're talking nursing, essentially anything you guys want to know about nursing. That's what I'm here for. If this is your first time here, my name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. So make sure you guys go check those out. You can actually Google me and I'll pop up. But we're talking about NCLEX, talking about nursing. I created an NCLEX course. Link is in the bio. It's going for $48, which is 80% off currently. So if you're a nursing student who's about to start nursing school, hey, you can get an NCLEX review for $48 and you get it forever. So make sure you guys check that out. But if you're new here, I want to know who you are, where you're from, where you are at in your nursing journey. If you've taken the NCLEX, did you pass it your first time? Did you fail? I want to know it all. So I want y'all to let me know down in the comments below. And that way we can spark a conversation. If you guys don't know who my co-host is, her name is Nurse Nelly. She's hanging out in the chat as well. She is also a nurse, been a nurse for 4 years. She has a plethora of experience. I'm pretty sure Heather's going to jump up in here as well. Those are my two who like to show up and like to moderate in the chat. So make sure y'all go give them a follow. Nurse Nelly does case management now, worked in med surg and did some ICU as well. So if you guys have any questions or concerns about that, y'all can go and check her out. I'm already a nurse. I just stopped here because I heard NCLEX. Okay, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by because I'm a nurse too, just like you. Lola in Space. Like Lola in Space, is that like a Space Jam reference? Because her name was Lola. She was a bunny who was also in Space Jam. No? Too much? Okay. I'll leave. But so I want to know. We got like 11 people up in here. So I just want to know like where everybody's from, where they're at in their journey. What questions do you guys have? I like to call this as a safe space, but I guess we shouldn't really say it's a safe space. It's more of a space of, of where you can ask your questions without people like being rude, disrespectful to you, or criticizing you for what you don't know. So, hey, Jaden. Hey, what up? How are you? Thanks for stopping by the live. I'm sorry, Nurse Jaden. Because everybody here is a nurse. Jaden's a nurse too, guys. Just saying. But yeah, let's see what's going on. So I actually I had a conversation today while I was at work, and I feel like I should express it to you guys, and everybody knows how I feel. So number one thing, okay, let me answer this question because Tara just asked, how much experience do you need before going agency? Most of those agencies will say that you need to have at least 6 months of experience before you try to become a travel nurse. But my recommendation, me personally, from seeing how debaucherous it can get out there, give yourself at least a year before you decide that you want to travel. That would be my recommendation. But most places will tell you, they'll be like, hey, I want 6 months, or I want a year, or I want 2 years. It all just depends on the agency that you're applying to. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. But I heard a conversation today, and there was about there was about four students that were there, and they're in their fourth semester of an accelerated BSN program. And one of the students I overheard, I don't know who these students are, but if anybody knows me and everybody knows that I love to teach, but when I see students, I gravitate towards them because I just want to be like, come here so I can show you some stuff, right? So I overheard her saying that she's working in labor and delivery. You know, like I said, she's a nursing student in her fourth semester, and they were talking like the nurse that she was with was just very rude and disrespectful to her. So of course, when I hear this, my ears perk up, and she's asking her like, hey, like I'm here to help. I'm here for whatever you need. I'm here to learn, so on and so forth. But the nurse was completely rude to her, disrespectful to her. Would like kind of like give her like the bombastic side eye, as well as not really try to give her any direction. Would tell her what to do, but not tell her where things were. So an example, like we have these things in our hospital, or it's called a Mobi Lab. So, you know, you can scan it with your phone and the patient's barcode pops up. And it'll print off the labels. You can put the labels on the labs. That way you can send the labs down the tube to the lab, right? Or you can walk them down however it happens in your hospital. So she's telling this lady like, hey, what's a Mobi Lab? And then the nurse looks at her and she's like, ugh, like, you don't know what a Mobi Lab is? I mean, I would never expect for a student who has never been experienced to what a Mobi Lab is to know what the hell a Mobi Lab is. And then there's another point she was explaining to where, you know, they were going to start an IV. So she went to go get the bag. She went to go get the line. She went to go get everything for her. And she's talking to this nurse, and the nurse is kind of just ignoring her. So she's just like, all right, well, I'm just going to help you set up. And then as she's helping her set up, she snatches the bag out of her hand, slams it on the table. And at this point, this is where I had to interject. Like I had to actually say something. And I was just like, wait, what did she do? And she was just like, yeah. And I was just like, and what floor is this on? Happened to be on labor and delivery. And I was just like, okay. And I was just like, yeah, I don't like that. I was just like, you need to get that nurse's name. You need to get that nurse's name, and you need to tell your clinical instructor so that way they can tell the manager and director. I was like, because that's an unconducive environment for you to learn as a nurse, as a nursing student. And I was just like, and people wonder why people get turned off to wanting to be a nurse is because they're exposed to such negativity when they get to when they get to a floor. Like they're exposed to just nothing but negativity. And for the fact that nurse treated a nursing student that way, like I'm not going to say it's beyond me. It's more along the fact of, okay, well, you wonder why there continues to be a nursing shortage is because how we treat one another and then how we treat those who are coming to work with us. And so I told her, I was just like, that's a non-conducive environment for you to learn. And I was like, so what I would suggest for you to do is to write down her name and write down all the things that she's doing. And then I need for you to tell your instructor. And then at that point, you don't need to work with that nurse anymore, because now it could become a safety issue. Because what if you had a needle in your hand and then she snatched it out of your hand and then she poked you with it, or she poked herself with it? Like, don't get me wrong. She could have something personal go on. She could have, a lot of things happen. There's a lot of stressors that we have and a lot of things that we have go on. But at no point, if you take on a student, and most of the time it's involuntary when nurses take on students. They're like, hey, does anybody want a student? And it's funny how I hear a nurse say, oh, I don't want students. And I was just like, bitch, like, weren't you a student like a whole year ago? But you don't want a student because you don't want to teach them the basics of what you know, because now they are a burden to you. Like, make that make sense. Like me, I'm a preceptor. So any students that come into my room, I'm like, or any students that come onto the floor, I'm like, give them to me. And I work in the operating room, so it's a little bit different. But like they're following me like a bunch of puppies. I'm like, hey, keep up. And then when we get a second and we tone down, then we'll start talking and we'll get a bunch of stuff. And then and any questions you guys have, I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. But for the fact that nursing student got treated like that would not surprise me on the fact if she just becomes a nurse and she's just like, okay, forget this. Like, I'll never work in a hospital again. So I say that to all of the nursing students that are out there. If you have something like that happen to you, make sure you speak up. And for everybody in here that is a nurse, don't forget where you came from. And don't forget to if you get stuck with a student, that's okay. Like, because you used to be a student. Like, don't think you just came walking out of that tunnel. If you know what I'm talking about. Don't just pretend like you came walking out that tunnel like you knew everything about nursing. All right? So it's annoying. Thanks. So All right, let's see what you guys got. That's my whole spiel on that. Hey, if you're just not joining us, my name is Kevin. If you guys came in at the ass end of that, be a good person. If you're a nurse, be a good person. If you're a student, be a sponge, okay? But anyways, my name's Kevin. Welcome to the live stream we got going on here. Today is Monday, so I hope everybody's having a good, day. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We're talking nursing, talking NCLEX, talking about essentially anything that you guys want to know. Make sure you guys comment down in the chat. I want to know who you are, where you're from, where you're at in your nursing journey. NCLEX, have you taken it once or twice? Do you need help or anything like that? If anybody needs help or requires any type of help, I created an NCLEX course that's in its pre-launch phase right now. You can check that link out in my bio. It's going for $48. When I say it's in the pre-launch, meaning it is consistently being updated. As a matter of fact, I have a whole list of videos that I'm about to record and I'm going to be editing throughout the week. So once you get it for $48, you get it forever. You get it for the life of the review, and it's not going anywhere. All right. So make sure you guys go check that out. And of course, I got my co-host, Nurse Nelly, who's down there in the chat answering all those questions if anybody has any. Her daughter's making spaghetti, not for y'all, but for them. So, but yeah. So hey, make sure you guys drop those, and I'm gonna start answering some of you guys' questions that you guys are putting up in here. Eve says, tips for new nursing students, how to read textbooks or study. I don't really understand. I don't know what you mean in regards to that. Like how to read textbooks. So they actually have those, not legends in the textbooks, but they're more of like the figures. The figures can actually can really summarize a good part of the section of the book that you're reading. And for studying, it all just depends on how you absorb knowledge. Like, are you a read write? Like, do you have to read it and write it down, or see it on a PowerPoint, write it down? Are you auditory, like listening, visual, like it has to be right in front of you? Are you kinesthetic? Are you hands on? Most people are a good combination of that. So it all just depends on how you study and how you retain knowledge. So what do you think about PAs? PAs are cool. All the PAs, except for like one of them, that I've met are pretty cool. Two of my buddies actually graduate PA school this Friday, one from Duke and the other one from Texas Tech. So, I actually have no problem with PAs. There's one PA like I just don't like, and he's just kind of an asshole just to be an asshole. Doesn't really fly well with me. So I'm just like, hey, okay, ain't nobody talking to you, but whatever. But PAs are cool. I just learned what a Mobilab is in this video right now. Yep, exactly. Somebody got filtered because they said something wrong. Ooh, I'm scared to get a job after PA school. Doctors and nurses scare me, especially seasoned ones. Cam, let me tell you something right now. If you scared, go to church or whatever religious, landmark that is you. Don't be scared. Like, remember, it's a learning process. I'm pretty sure you were scared when you started PA school. Now you shouldn't be scared to go to that next level, right? Because it is a consistent learning process every day. Now, whatever doctor takes you on as a PA, like, you gotta, be attached to them at the hip, learn everything that you can, and then, keep it going. How did you know you wanted to be a nurse? At first, I wanted to be a nurse for just very selfish reasons. I was active duty, and nurses in the military are officers. They get paid more money and they have a better quality of life. Now, as I progressed through becoming a nurse, I decided I wanted to be a nurse right before I went on deployment to Afghanistan. And when I was there, I realized that I enjoy the caring aspect of the patient, not necessarily the medicine, because nursing is about the patient. Being a doctor is all about the medicine aspect. So I really loved the fact that I could actually sit there, take care of a patient, and actually watch them progress from being, really sick to progressing to getting better. And I'm a very big people person. So that's why I decided that nursing was more for me than being a doctor, because the doctor is what I wanted to be first, but I changed my mind on that. I had a terrible experience as a dietetic intern. Made me not want to go the RD route. Okay. And that's the thing, is like sometimes I wanted to be a CRNA, but I didn't have such a great experience in the ICU. And before anybody decides they want to start to ask me that question, why didn't I go to a different ICU, is because I don't want to deal just with all ICUs relatively all have the same culture. And Nurse Nelly can attest to this, but it's just like, I didn't want to deal with it. It's my second career. I'm a little bit older, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with the nonsense that goes on in there. I feel like when a lot of that stuff that comes to it, it's just like it's a young person's game, even though you see older people that are in the ICU. But it's just like, nah, I don't want to deal with this game that y'all are playing. So I'm good. And plus, like it really does hit you differently in the mental health aspect. I mean, it's just different. It's just different. So I'm glad that you decided not to do that because you had a terrible experience, and I've had terrible experiences while I was in the ICU, but I also had some really great ones. So just finished my preceptorship, and it was the same environment. Look, Eve, I'm trying to tell you, should you rush to complete? Should you rush to complete the BSN or the RN BSN? I mean, it just depends on how long the program is. There's ASN or ADN nurses that I've worked with that have been ADN nurses for 5, 10 plus years, and there was no rush because at one point they were having it to where they wanted at least 80% of nurses that are in hospitals to be BSN, but COVID pushed that back like 10 years. So a lot of these hospitals are going to be like, hey, are you going to go to school? And you'll be like, yeah, eventually. So you don't necessarily have to rush to get your BSN. But you can get, if you already have an RN as an associate's degree, you literally could take like 1 or 2 classes at a time and then have your BSN 2 or 3 years later, so you can kind of just, take it whatever time you want to take it. They take students to get CE units, not because they, I guess I've never really heard of that in regards to the CE units. Or you mean like have the students do the CE units for them? Do you have any assignments that is due in the next 24 hours? Was that academic? Okay. Academic. I don't know what that means, but I hope you're not like trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Advertise in my chat because you're about to get 600. You're about to get blocked for at least 10 minutes. So don't do that. I was born the perfect nurse. What's for dinner? Oh, so you saw that come in there? Oh, I'm sorry. What is this? I don't know. It's like a chicken Alfredo. It looked good though. What does it say? So I like the nurse that my sister was with in the hospital. She always brought the students cookies. Hey, look, I'm trying to tell you, like, there are more good nurses than there are bad. So I don't want people to think that, nursing is bad and all preceptors are like that because it's not like that at all. Love you. Eve, yep. Hi. Started nursing school. I'll start nursing school at the end of August. What do you think about apprenticeship hospital scholars? I think it's whatever you need to do for yourself. I think it's okay. You could actually, by working in the hospital or being an apprentice while you're walking, you get yourself used to being in that environment. That question I'm answering is Leslie. So that was me that got filtered. I said, oh, okay, I got you. I'm 23 in IT, but looking to going back to school for nursing. Cool. If that's what you want to do, guy, go ahead and do it. 2-year contracts after passing NCLEX. So I know HCA was a really big proponent of doing that, where they were trying to trap nurses into being there for 2 years or paying back money or whatever nonsense. There are actually residency programs that don't even do that anymore. It all just depends on, where you go. Would you suggest completing the BSN or the RN BSN program ASAP, or should I take my time with it? That all just depends on you. If you have 5 classes left, just finish it. That one's for, is it Jalebi? Jalebi. Did I say that right? I hope I said that right. Are you treated good as a nurse? Zane, I'm guessing, are you asking me that? It does all depend on where you work. And it depends on how everybody feels about you. But just do it because it'll pay off. Yep. How should I get my BSN if I go through a community college first after high school? You can go. So if you go through a community college to get your bachelor's, you go through a community college to get your associates, but you get your RN, you get your license. Your associate's is your degree, your RN is your license. Once you get your RN, all you need to do is bridge to a BSN program. You won't have to take the NCLEX again because it's the same exam. She does kind of spoil me. Leslie, don't do it, but they eventually stop harassing you. Yep. How long is nursing school? I'm planning to start in September. Katrina, it all just depends on what nursing school it is, because some nursing schools could be a year and a half. Some nursing schools could be a year and a half if you've already taken the prerequisites. Some nursing schools could be 4 years, where it includes the first 2 years of being like the prerequisites, like math, like college algebra, statistics, human growth and development, A&P 1 and 2, stuff like that. So it all just depends on the school that you go to. So I hope that helps. I really do hope that helps. Hey, but shout out for everybody for sticking around. I'm going to hang out for a little bit. I'm definitely not going to try to be held hostage today because I'm trying to get these videos out for y'all. Well, especially for those who decide to jump into the program. So if you know anybody that's interested in getting their NCLEX program now, so my individuals who are starting school next month and in next month, at the end of next month or in September, check out the 7-day NCLEX course. Link is in my bio. Get it for $48 and you get it forever. So make sure you guys check that out. Did you do ADN first? Did you do ADN first or go straight to BSN? Want to going back for BSN, but want to know how hard it is. So I'll say, okay, who's that? Bebop. It doesn't necessarily matter. So the ADN program is just as hard as the BSN program. The BSN it's incorporated with, you get more classes. So the ADN is usually like a 2-year degree. BSN, of course, is a 4-year degree. And it's not nursing school, no matter what level it is for people, either LVN, LPN, ADN RN or BSN RN. Like the school is hard. It's hard, especially, if you're not used to that type of thing. So, I went straight to get my BSN because I was active duty at the time and I was trying to get commissioned as an officer, and they only take BSN nurses. But when I was in school, I didn't even know that you could get an associate's degree as a nurse. I didn't even know that was a thing until I was already in nursing school. If I would have known that, I would have went the ADN route because one, it would have been cheaper, and two, I could have gotten into the workforce faster working as a nurse and then taken a few classes here and there and got my BSN, a year or two later. So it all just depends, but it's going to be hard regardless. It's going to be hard for you because it's just the changing of the dynamics and the language and the responsibilities and stuff like that. So it can be very difficult. You're welcome, Katrina. Let's see. I'm looking at doing an associate's RN. Community college makes it easier with my job. Then do that. Do that, guy. If it makes it easier for you, 100% do it. I'm all about doing I'm all about doing what is feasible for you. Everybody's in such a rush to get somewhere, but I always tell people you are exactly where you're supposed to be. Even people that fail their NCLEX, like me. Like, here's my breakdown. Here's one of 3 breakdowns, right? And I'm pretty sure this was my very first NCLEX that I took in 2018. So I was right where I was supposed to be. I failed it 2 more times. I was exactly where I was supposed to be. I passed it on the 4th time. And when I passed it on the 4th time, that told me in my head that I knew that I needed to create a YouTube channel and start coaching. And I did that. If I wouldn't have failed so many times, this conversation that we're having right now would not be happening. So you're exactly where you're supposed to be. No one needs to be in a rush. If you say that you're going to do it, do it. And it's going to happen with time. So I always tell people to go that community route because one, it'll be easier with your job because, if it is, it is. But then it's just like, it's a lot easier on your pocket too. So just saying. I'm in New York. Where should I go to do my RN? I don't know. It depends on where you want to go. Do you want to stay in New York? Are you willing to travel and go out? Who is that? Is that Cardine Campbell? If you want to leave New York, then leave New York. Do you want to stay in school in New York? Do you want to go to any RN program? That all depends on you, on where you want to go. Like, do you want to, come down here to Texas and go to school? Do you want to go somewhere in the middle of Missouri and go to school? It all just depends. Can you afford it? What's your family dynamic like? Do you have a support system? What are you willing to sacrifice and give up in order to become a nurse? I ask people that all the time. Is Nassau Community College okay? I don't know. Is it? Never been there. So this is where I like to empower people, is like when you start asking me questions and I don't know because I truly don't know about Nassau Community College, do the research. Look it up. First of all, go to your state's Board of Nursing, wherever you are. And I think you said you're in New York. Look up the State Board of Nursing and then look up all the schools that are accredited. Okay, cool. Once you see that they're accredited, look at their NCLEX standard. All right. What's the percentage of them passing? What's their acceptance rate? What else? What's their graduation rate? What else that they ask on there? Have they been under investigation by the Board of Nursing? Like, you got to do your research on these schools. It's Iman. Studying again. I need a study group or something. So I'm actually going to start incorporating lectures inside of the 7-day NCLEX course program, but that's going to be like a once a week thing. And Iman, are you studying for NCLEX or are you studying for, are you just in school? Which one? Oh, it's for NCLEX RN. I got you. Okay. So here's my thing is you want to do a study group. You want to do a study group, right? But how many times have you taken the NCLEX? Go where you can get a multi-license. Yeah, that's true. You can go where you can get a multi-license. And there's 41 states that allow that multi-license part of the nurse licensure compact. Yep. No problem. Woo. Let's see what we got going on. Let's see. 3 times. So 3 times you took the NCLEX. All right. So here's my question to you is with NCLEX, I'm a little bit different in regards to studying with a group is because number one, obviously when you take the NCLEX, when you take the NCLEX, it's going to be different. Everybody's going to it's going to be different and it's all going to be based off of how you answer. So not one person is going to get the same question. And if they do, it's going to be a question that's like further away, but it all just depends. I'm not a big proponent with studying in groups in regards to the NCLEX. However, I am a big proponent of studying with groups while you're in nursing school. And so now you told me that you failed 3 times. All right. So you said, Iman, you said you failed 3 times. So my question is, did you get this breakdown? And if you should have, if you failed 3 times. Now, if you look at that breakdown, why did you fail? What sections did you fail? Now, tell me about your time management. Let me see your study schedule. Let me see your time management chart. Like, do you, I'm very regimented. So this is like, what did you do from these times? Right? Like, what accountability do you have? Like, did you study questions? Did you study content? Do you not understand the caliber of how they're asking the question? Do you not understand content? Do you not know how to relate content into questions? Like, what's your support system look like? Whether people believe it or not, is like people that say that they support you may not support you, or they may not have your best interest at heart because they're envious. So like, what's your schedule like if you have children? You know what I mean? So, and then who was that? Leo, you said you failed twice and never got feedback. I would actually call your board of nursing and tell them to send you a breakdown. So, Iman, that's what I would say to you in regards to, okay, you failed 3 times. There are plenty of programs that are out there that do work. But it all depends on you. Like, what is it that you're not getting? Do you not critically think? Do you not use your clinical judgment? Because remember, you got to think like if they give you everything, if they give you everything that you need in your question, like with the scenarios and the case studies, it's just like, do you not know what's important in the passage? Are you picking too many questions? Are you picking too many answers on your select all that apply? Are you not clicking on the right thing? Do you have test anxiety? Did you recreate your testing environment? Are you always on your phone? Do you got snacks and water in front of your computer? Do you have to go to the library to study? Like, there's a lot of just different factors that you got to think about. Okay. My son just passed the NCLEX. Shout out to him. BSN in 24. My husband is an MSN DNP. Cohorts are the best. Shout out to them, Krista. Yep. My son needed his cohort to study with. This boy was stressed. I mean, the NCLEX is going to stress you out regardless. We all know that. Yes, I got the breakdown. I did content and I used Archer for QBank. No children. I work full time. I also use NCLEX High Yield. Okay, so how'd you like NCLEX High Yield? His stuff is pretty good. I've seen it. So if said, okay, he's like, I did content and I used Archer. Okay, so you did content and you used Archer. So the content and Archer has the questions and you use NCLEX High Yield. So now it's all about, okay, is it the test itself? Like, what was you work full time. I worked full time too, but it's like you work full time, but what was your study schedule like? And this is the thing that I've told my students before, because I also do coaching. If you guys want to check that out, the link is in the bio as well. But I am not with you all the time. I'm not with you all the time. And then I also asked them, I'm just like, how many resources are you using? And I've heard people say I have Simple Nursing with Mark Klimick and Archer and NCLEX High Yield. I'm like, why do you have so many? Oh, exactly. So like maybe you were using too many resources. Sometimes it's better to just stick with one or two. When I studied, I'll be completely transparent because when I studied, I used Mark Klimic and I used Kaplan. That's it. I didn't use Simple Nursing. I didn't use Remar. I didn't use NCLEX High Yield. Didn't use Picmonic. I didn't use what is it? NCLEX QBank. I didn't use any of those. I just used those. I used Mark Klimic when I wasn't in front of the computer, when I was driving to and from work, listening to it, when I was taking a shower, mowing the lawn, cleaning the house, Mark Clement. Any other time, I was sitting right here. I had my notes and I was in front of this computer. So Natalie's right. It could be the fact that you're using too many resources because a lot of those resources will contradict each other. I mean, but they're ranges, but they contradict each other. I'm going to share your TikTok with my other son who is 20 and starting full-time nursing. Yeah, share it to him, Krista. Share it right now. As a matter of fact, I need all 14 people right now to smash that like button and give me to 1,000 likes. Do it now. Love you. I use Mark Klimic. Otherwise, was that NCSBN questions? Yep, NCSBN also offers questions as well. I know at one point they were giving it away for free, or they were giving it away super cheap. So it all just depends. But shout out to all 13 people that are in here. So have you watched The Best Man yet, sir? The Best Man. Is that like a Netflix show, TK? Are you about to tell me I look like somebody? Hope not. I did NCSBN because I was poor with no job. That makes sense. Now you're not poor. So you're not poor. You have like a 3-story house. You got like a Ferrari. So it's a movie and you look like the, of course. How did I know? TK, you're kind of late. And just for that, TK, you need to smash that like button, give me 1,000 likes, and now you need to follow me since I look like Jason Derulo. Jason Derulo. And no, ma'am, I have not seen that show. I probably should. Wow, that hiccup was embarrassing. Oh, well, shout out to y'all. I love y'all. 1,000 likes, make it happen. So, I work full-time 2 to 10, Sunday through Thursday. I'm trying to make a new study schedule. I feel overwhelmed. Okay, so you have to make a new study schedule. So you have to make a new study schedule based off of whatever that you work, right? So if you're working 2 to 10, Sunday through Thursday, maybe wake up a little bit earlier. Give yourself a good 2 to 3 hours. So wake up around noon or wake up around 11 o'clock. Get you like an hour of content in, and then get yourself, like at least an hour and a half of some questions in. And once you get your questions in, remediate them and then get ready and go to work. Because I can tell you right now, if you wake up at like 12:30, 1 o'clock and you have to be at work by 2, you're not going to be thinking about studying. And then when you get off at 10 o'clock, ain't no way. You're going to be wanting to go home and put that head on that pillow. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to make that sacrifice and you got to wake up early. As soon as you get home, take a shower, go to bed. Wake up at 10, 9 o'clock, do whatever. Give yourself a good, 8 hours of sleep and then start studying and then make that your priority. All right. You don't look like Jason Derulo to me. You look like Julian from The Best Man. First of all, see, now I'm about to look. Everyone else tells me I look like Jason Derulo. And first of all, Jason Derulo looks like me because I'm older than him. But whatever. What's his name? Julian from The Best Man. From The Strokes. What the hell? Let's see. Julian Murch. Is that his name? Let's see. No. Maybe. I can kind of see it. I get the Jason Derulo all the time, so I can kind of see it. I mean, it don't really bother me, so it's just like, hey, I look famous. My daughter can't even call him Kevin. She calls him, asks if that's Jason. Oh my God, this child. Brian Tree or Tyree. Let's see. Brian. I spell his name wrong? Probably. I'm slow. No. I don't got that fat of a face, do I? Oh, man. Oh, he was in that last movie with, is it Bullet Train? I think it's Bullet Train. With Brad Pitt in it. I think Brad Pitt's in it. I gotta finish charting. It was a late day. I picked up some extra. Oh, look at you. he's British. That's crazy. I know, right? Like when a lot of people say that about Idris Elba, they're just like, wait, he's British? I'm like, yeah, bro, he's British. What are you talking about? And you know, it don't even matter. I could look like him. That makes me famous, so. But I don't have a British accent. I don't even know if I did that right. See, hopefully nobody's in here that's British. I didn't mean to disrespect you. I love you. Appreciate it. So yeah. Oh, he's in Atlanta too? Okay, yeah, that's what it is. I think I saw him in Atlanta. But yeah. Shout out to y'all. 1,000 likes. Hey, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for smashing that like button. Hey, so if you guys are just now joining us, I'm going to hang out for another 15 minutes. Like, legit. Like, y'all ain't holding me hostage up in here today because your boy got stuff he got to do. But anyways, thanks for joining. If you have never joined here before, my name is Kevin. I go by The Boot Nurse. Make sure you guys check me out on all those social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, the TikToks, Thread. I don't got Twitter no more because, number one, I don't got a really good following over there. Number two, it's just I don't ever use it. But I got a Facebook page. It's called The Boot Nation. Make sure you guys check that out. Anybody that you know that needs help with NCLEX, or if you're a brand new nursing student about to start school, you know, check out the 7-day NCLEX course. It's going for $48. Once you get it forever. So it'll be ready for you by the time you take your exam a year, or by the time you take your license exam a year or 2 years from now. So make sure you guys check that out. It's going for 80% off, $48. It's yours forever. But I want to know about y'all. Next 15 minutes, I want to know who you are, where you're from, where you're at in your nursing journey. Have you taken the NCLEX? Are you a pre-nursing student? Like, are you thinking about going to nursing school? Are you a PA who happened to just stumble into my chat? Yeah. So I want to know. Y'all let me know. And ask me all them questions down in the chat. I don't know if Nurse Nelly is still here. I think she is, but she says she has to do some charting. But she is my co-host. She is also a nurse. She worked in med-surg, ICU, and now does case management, loving her life. I worked ICU, I worked PACU, and now I work OR. Still loving my life. So I think we're good. Any questions that you guys have, make sure you guys drop them down in the chat. Let's see what's going on. We can always come back to this. Yeah, we can. Old nurse, 30 years. I would say more of a wise nurse, 30 years, but whatever. You can call yourself old if you want to, Millie. I would say more wise and mature. As long as you're a 30-year nurse and you're not mean and rude and disrespectful and be a nurse that eats their young, because a 30-year nurse or not, that ain't cool. So that's probably one of my biggest things. I think you kind of came in late to the game in regards to that. But I was telling a story earlier in regards to some nurses being rude to nursing students. That's not a fan. Not a fan. We trying to change the nursing narrative for treating nurses better. I know that we're in a difficult spot, and nurses always have been with the shortage and all that other good stuff. But it takes nothing to be kind to somebody. It takes nothing to be kind and nice, especially if it's somebody who's trying to jump into your field that wants to, essentially emulate and be like you. The young ones have the teeth these days. I don't know what that means. This is 2 years of braces. I'm just saying. Should have seen what I looked like before. A mess. I tell you, a mess. I don't know if I have those pictures. I don't know. I think I might be too embarrassed to share those. Oh my God. So, but yeah, it's very, very true, because I don't like, I've had my fair share of experiences where, the older nurses, not even too much older than me, like maybe like 3 years or 2 years or even a year, just talking to me like they lost their mind and like they've never been students before. Not a fan. You look the same. Bye. I'll share the. Wow. Please don't do that. That's mean. Don't do that. I hate mean nurses. They started from the same place we started. Why be so hateful? Exactly. I've even heard stories to where there was like girls that were patient care techs that were in nursing school, and they failed the NCLEX, and then the next day when they get there, all the nurses like, you didn't pass it, and they started to like kind of shun her, like Mean Girl style. And I'm just like, okay. I was like, you need to leave. I was like, you need to leave. You need to leave that hospital. Or you need to leave that floor. Like, as soon as you get your license, don't even attempt to work on that floor, because now you know now you know the people that have really been laughing at you and laughing at you behind your face, behind your back. Those are not good people to work with, at all. And I'm not a fan of those people at all. So. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, facts. I love to watch you. Blessings to you, my brother. Yeah, hey Shay, thanks for showing up. I'm always here. Hey, I've been real consistent, y'all. Like, think about it. I've been real consistent. This is like week 3, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, around the same time. But I've been consistent, and I like to come up in here and I like to talk and I like to tell you guys, essentially whatever you guys want to know. Like, I don't mind spilling the tea. Like, you ain't gonna hurt me. I like, what you gonna do? Call my job and be like, oh my God, Kevin's over here talking all this mess. Fire him, because some of these motherfuckers be doing that. They'll be like, hey, I heard you on TikTok talking about us. I don't give a fuck about y'all. I ain't do nothing wrong. Chill out. So I love being here. I ain't going nowhere. Blessings to you as well. Leave that. Yep. Yes, I'm a patient care tech in nursing school, and I feel that nurses feel threatened by me, like if I'm going to take their job. So that's a very old school mentality way of thinking, is because I read a lot of books. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but when you read these books and you start to apply them to real life, you're just like, okay, that makes sense. It's just like a lot of these nurses feel like you're going to take their job. Like everybody wanted job security, like the days of like factory workers where, they wanted to work there 30, 40 years and then get a pension and then was threatened by the younger person that came in. They would do anything to try to sabotage those people. But it's just like, why do it now? Like, you could literally go work at it's actually like, it used to be frowned upon to leave a hospital or to leave an organization to go to another one. Now it's just like, it's pretty much the norm. Like, go get your experience somewhere and then come work for me and work a little bit less, but make a lot more. So I never understood why nurses like that, or why people felt threatened. Like, I've had that issue, like, with a nurse educator, like, who became a nurse educator, but didn't tell nobody. And then when they became a nurse educator, all of a sudden was just like, oh, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I'm just like, oh, but you was just working next to me like a whole week ago. But you didn't tell nobody what you had going on because you felt threatened knowing that there were other people that were more qualified than you. But that's fine. But it didn't bother me. It was just the way that they portrayed themselves. So, like I said, if you got people that are treating you like that, you need to leave. You don't need to stay there. Go be a nurse, brand new, start fresh with brand new people who don't know you. I can say, as a new nurse student, stand our ground, though. So don't try. Hey, look, I don't play that. Like, people be they tried to try me. And then I'm just like, maybe it's just because I'm a guy and I have a lot of military experience. So when I start talking about this right here, they're just like, oh, I'm like, oh, you didn't think I was going to say that to you. You thought I was just going to let you talk to me like that? Come on, bro. Better stop playing with me. Getting ready to go to nursing school at my age. I don't know what that means, Liddy. What does that mean? How long a day should we study so we can keep the stress away from nursing school? Is your name Erica with an A? Because that is different. I ain't judging. I feel like I want to say Erica, like I'm from like New York, and I'm not. Erica Luna. I'm just playing, but it depends on what you have available to you. So if you can study for an hour, if you can study for 4 hours, if you can study 3 hours, that's why I love making, like, I made on an Excel spreadsheet. I actually I laid my times out, like what I had available, Erica. So it all just depends. It all just depends on you. If you put yourself on a schedule and you stick to it, you should be okay. You really should be okay. You sound like Kevin Hart. Oh my God. Well, I mean, he is one of my favorite comedians. So there's that. Kevin Hart's my dude. Don't hate. Come on now. I would try to do a Kevin Hart imitation, but this is not the time. Good nurses are cocky or mean, and cocky nurses aren't good. Facts. User 5219728340261. You passed your NCLEX. Shout out to you for passing. Congratulations. Welcome to the nurse gang. Welcome to the shit show. Thanks for hanging out. How many times did you take it? All that good stuff. Like, let us know. Hey, make sure you guys give user numerical numbers. Make sure you guys celebrate that individual for coming into the nursing field and, hey, doing your thing. They act like they were born knowing the info. That's what I'm saying. I never understood people that are just like, I had a nurse manager one day. She's like, if you ever run into a rogue nurse that's on my unit, you need to let me know because I'm gonna get rid of that person really fast. And I was like, cool, no need. Luckily for me, when I worked in the burn ICU, there was no nurse that was like that. Like, everybody there was really great. You're young. Wait, Lydia, did you say how old you were? Did I miss that? Don't even matter. So I'm going back to school. That's okay if you go back to school. I can tell you right now, on your nursing license and on your nursing degree, it won't say your husband's name, wife's name, kid's name. It won't say how old you are. It's going to say your name, your first name, your last name, what state you were from, and your license number. And ain't none of those have to do with your age, and ain't nobody going to know. So you ain't got nothing to worry about. Thank you. So much love. You guys are the best. Look, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I am trying to foster not only a professional environment where we can critique one another positively, but try to end that nonsense of the nurses eat their young. Not a fan of it. That's why I like teaching. That's why I was like, yo, whoever the new people are or whoever the new students are, give them to me. I remember, I think I had like at one point I had like 2 or 3 nursing students, and I had 1 or 2 surgical tech students that were in a room with me. And I was just like, all right, cool. Because I used to be a surgical tech instructor. So now I'm an OR nurse. And I know both, so I can teach both. And it was just it's a great experience for me. So this is why I like to throw those things out there. Can I give a tip? Don't let your job know you're taking the NCLEX. They will worry. Yeah, they will. They 100% will. They're going to be like, did you pass? Did you pass? Did you pass? And then they're going to fully expect for you to pass on your first time. And then when you don't pass, that requires them to adjust, because they all of a sudden are just like, oh, well, she didn't pass. So, or he didn't pass. So now we can't put him on the schedule, because all they really care about is getting you on the schedule. They don't give a fuck about you. They just care about getting you on the schedule. I'm just keeping it all the way real. And make sure you guys share this. Make sure you guys share this live. Make sure, and as a matter of fact, if you know anybody who wants to know this information, if they missed the live, it's going to go up on my YouTube. I actually have I want to say there's about 8 videos that are up on my YouTube right now for those who need it. And it's just this conversation. I don't edit it or anything like that. I don't put music on it. Like, you get the raw aspect of the live that's going to go up there. So make sure you guys share that with people. I just passed my NCLEX on the first time. Shout out to you, Renee. Renee, we were talking about that. Hey, so shout out to you. Everybody show Renee some love. Everybody say congratulations to her. Welcome to the shit show of hanging out with being with some RNs and some LPNs or LVNs, wherever you are. So congratulations to you. And I know that was it's a huge, huge milestone for people to pass their NCLEX. It doesn't matter which one it is, if it's RN or PN. All right. So congratulations to you. Clapping Monkey. Your name is Clapping Monkey, first of all. Well, Clapping Monkey, I am an OR nurse. Oh, man. I'd rather your name be like user 119, blah, 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 blah. But that ain't me. But yes, Clapping Monkey, I am a OR nurse right now. I worked in ICU for a little around a year. And then I did a few months in the recovery room or the PACU. And now I work as an OR nurse. And I've been working as an OR nurse ever since after that. So OR nurse sounds awesome. I'm in med surg. You got a crying face, so I already know how you feel about being in med surg. Hey, just realize that you don't always have to work in med surg. You want something different, just tell them, hey, I want something different. And you can go work somewhere else. You want to go to ICU? Cool. You want to go to OR? Cool. You want to go to, I don't know, physical therapy? Cool. You want to go work in x-rays because you want to learn what it's like to be a radiology nurse? Cool. Go do that. You want to go to tele? Do that. You don't want to do bedside nursing at all and you want to go work at an insurance company? Cool. Do that. You want to go work at a pharmaceutical company? You can go do that. Med-surg is a lot of good experience, and then the ER will beg you to come to them. Of course they will. Of course they will. So if Heather was here, she's also the other co-host that would be in here. She is very big on all boot nurses or baby nurses. I call baby nurses boot nurses because I just don't like being called a baby because I'm a grown-ass man. But anyways, you're a grown-ass woman or adult. She is all about new nurses, boot nurses going to med-surg. And I am not against that. However, if you don't want to go to med-surg, you don't have to. There are people that got experience doing med-surg in nursing school and they're just like, I do not want a part of this. I want to go to the ICU. That's where I want to go. And I'm like, cool. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go ahead and go there. But you don't need to do it. It's just being in the ICU starting as your first spot. It's very fast. Not saying that med-surg is no faster, but ICU is very drop the hammer on you. You got to pick up on these things like super fast. So, God Gotta wait. It's my second week. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. It's like, yeah, I'm a med surg nurse. Yeah, how long you been working there? 2 weeks. Oh, okay. I got you. I mean, I ain't hating. I'm not hating on that by any means. I'm just like, I got you. I understand. So, but I was in med surg tele for 3 years, and I gained so much great experience. And like I said, it's great. Like when I worked in the ICU, I learned a lot, like really fast. Like the biggest things that I learned a lot about was hemodynamics, vent management, because I went into the ICU during the second wave of COVID, and then I learned a lot about, it was hemodynamics, vent management, total care of your patient, CRT, which is continuous renal replacement therapy, like, what is it, fluid and electrolyte imbalances in regards to essentially doing a rapid dialysis on a patient. Like when I worked in the burn center, I learned about total body expenditure. Like it's a lot. I learned a lot about wound care, especially working in a burn center. Boy, oh boy, I'm telling you right now, I'm not trying to knock nobody's experience, but things are different when you work inside of a burn center. Not just a burn center, but a burn OR, which I got experience in, and in a burn ICU, which I got experience in. It's wild. It's wild. Do you refer to your school textbook at all, or should I just throw it out? Ma'am. See those books? There is my med-surg book right there. And every so often, I open it up. And I mean every so often. It's like when you open it up, it still has that new book smell. But I actually just use mine as kind of like props. Like I have a whole bunch of books. And so like a lot of people will ask me like book recommendations. As a matter of fact, here are 2 books that I recommend. One, Thinking as a Nurse, right? And then the other one is The Nurses. Well, it's a year of secrets, drama, and miracles with the heroes of the hospital. This book right here has like multiple different stories from multiple different nurses. All right. So if anything, like, all right, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm not a fan of Grey's Anatomy, like at all. But this fucking book is like Grey's Anatomy. Like it's wild. Like some of the shit that you hear up in here. Like there's one story I think where like there was a neurologist who was sleeping with like 4 people, like 4 nurses on like different floors. Because let's just be real, what's the chances of somebody from the 1st floor going up to the 5th floor knowing a nurse up there? Like, wow. Or like I can't even explain it. But this book right here, great. I don't sit and I don't read because one, I don't have the time to just sit here and read. I just do audiobooks. If I read this book, I would fall asleep within 10 minutes of me reading it. But these 2 books that I recommend, and these are books that I'm actually making a video on that I'm going to put inside of my course for my book recommendations. Sell your books to the school store. No, I'm keeping them. They're keepsakes. They let me know how hard my struggle was. Okay. Anyways, so right here, Thinking as a Nurse and The Nurses by, who is this by? Alexandra Robbins. And it has like different nurses' stories in there. This book, fantastic. It actually, one of my mentors gave me this book when I graduated, and she wrote like a nice little letter in here for me. And she's still my mentor to this day. But yeah, those are the 2 books. Those are the 2 books. Hey, as a matter of fact, I forgot I had this food right here. Man, I wish Sasha was in here because she was talking all that mess last week. Let me tell you, this right here is good. I usually don't eat in front of y'all, but we're keeping it raw and we're keeping it real today. This is like a chicken Alfredo with Parmesan on it, and it's delicious. It is delicious. But only 1 bite. It says, sell your book back to school. No, I meant the ones with the nursing care plans in them. I don't even think I have any books with the nursing care plans in them anymore. I think I really did get rid of all those. So, but anyways, I got about 80 y'all in here. I just wanted to see what was going on, make sure everything was good to go. I think I'm going to sign off here in the next couple of minutes. I said I was going to sign off 15 minutes ago or like 4 minutes ago, but here I am once again, getting held hostage against my will. I didn't ask to be here. And then here y'all are, holding me hostage, asking me questions. Crazy. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Give me the 4,000 likes. I love you all. So, but anyways, still charting, ma'am. I'm gonna need for you to get that together. Right? Thanks. Enjoy your night. Clapping Monkey. Thank you for joining. I hope you followed. I hope you liked. I hope you shared, because we're not selfish around here, because we're nurses and we want to let other nurses that, hey, your boy is here for you and doing everything he possibly can. All right. So I think that's going to be it for the night. I know this is usually really short for me, because usually I'll be up here for like an hour, 45, 2 hours, talking to you guys. So, let's see. Have you ever done a damn, start of care? Hush your oh, my bad. Sorry. Pass my NCLEX RN now and an RN to BSN full-time online. Okay. Shout out to you, Molly Beecher. You got a respirator on your face for your profile picture? I just want to make sure I'm seeing that right. But shout out to you for passing your RN. I'm assuming it's your ADN RN, and now you're going to get your BSN. So that's good. Shout out to you. Make sure everybody that's in the chat, all 8 of you that are in here, make sure y'all show her some love. Let Molly know, hey, shout out to being a nurse, and now you're getting all your stuff taken care of. Welcome to a pool of awesomeness and the shit show. So, thanks for sharing that with us. We appreciate it. Where are you going to go work at? Like, what are your plans that you plan on doing, Molly? Like, let us know. Let us know what's going on. Oh, okay. That's fine. You don't have to let us know. That's all good. We'll just wait. My dream is to do transplant ICU. Cool. Just make that dream a reality and go work there right now. Unless they say like, oh, you need to have experience and blah, 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 blah. So, hey, when people tell me it's my dream to do this, I'm like, all right, well, go make it a reality. Like, what is it? A dream without goals is just a wish, or or something along the lines of that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So don't make it a dream, make it a reality. Like, you can go work in the ICU right now. You have a license as an RN. Go do it. Go do it right now. Transplant units like to grow their own, so check for new grad programs. Yep, I used to work on a COVID ICU as a CNA. That was okay. I got you. I'm tracking. I see what you're talking about. Millie's right, because they do actually like to grow their own. They're very particular. Just like if you went to a CV ICU or if you went to a CV OR, like all those units are very particular about how they bring people up, because there are different things that you have to know about, especially with transplant patients, when it comes to like rejection and the medications that they have to take and all that stuff. So huge thing. So shout out to you for wanting to do that. I've never had the urge to go there, to go to a transplant unit. So, but shout out to you for doing that. Congratulations once again on getting your license, because that is, in reality, it's not that big of a battle, but it is. The biggest battle is getting into school and finishing school. That is the endurance race. And then the NCLEX is just like your 3 steps before you cross the finish line. Cross the finish line to start walking another marathon. So, right in the machines. ECMO. I actually wanted to learn a lot about ECMO. PA cath. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's 30. Millie has 30 years of experience, y'all. So there's probably nothing that she hasn't seen, like, at all. So, but all right, y'all. I appreciate everybody stopping by. Like I said, this one's going to be a little short today. I'll try to make it up on the back end somewhere else, and we'll talk about some more things. But your boy has got to go and make these lessons for you guys. Of course, for all those individuals that have purchased the course. And I'll say my little spiel again. Make sure you guys follow me here on TikTok, of course. Hit that notification button so you guys know when I'm going live, as well as follow me on all those socials. So YouTube, Instagram, join the Boot Nation Facebook group. Of course, Follow me on TikTok. I got Thread. I don't got X no more. If you're a new nursing student just now starting school, make sure you guys check out the 7-day NCLEX course. Or if you've taken the NCLEX multiple times or studying for the NCLEX, you can check out thebootnurse.com and you can sign up for my coaching session. But if you just want the course itself, the 7-day NCLEX course, the link is in my bio. It's in the pre-launch phase. It's going for $48 right now, which is 80% off of the current price, and you get it forever. So make sure you guys check that out. And I'll leave you guys with my final thoughts. Like Jerry Springer, RIP to the GOAT. But make sure you guys take time for yourself mentally to recharge, and make sure you get enough sleep. I read a book. It's called Why We Sleep, and it actually put me to sleep, so it took me a long time to get through it. But make sure you take care of yourself mentally and you get plenty of sleep. Like, that's a very, very big thing. Like, people like wear this trophy on their shoulder saying like, yeah, I'm working on 4 hours of sleep. I don't feel that does not make me feel good for you at all. As well as taking care of your mental health. Like, people like, we suffer in silence. You don't have to suffer in silence ever. So take care of yourself mentally. Make sure you guys get plenty of sleep. Make sure you guys follow me. Stop playing these games. Hey, there's so many people on here that don't follow me. All right. I love y'all. Thank you. But anyways, I'm going to call it a night. And if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns about anything, you guys can, send me a message and all that good jazz. But until then, I will see you guys the next time. Bye.